Hey, whether you've never cooked a burger on the grill or you're a seasoned pro, you even be calling yourself the Burger King. Well, folks, I am fixing to up your game to where you will be the highest burger master of all, you will. What are we talking about? A homemade chorizo burger. We're going to show you how to make that chorizo, and then we're going to make the best burger in the world. We're just glad that y'all get to take time out of your day wherever you're at to watch our videos. And what are we talking about today? Homemade chorizo burger. But better than that, folks, we're going to show you how to make your own chorizo at home. It's not out of that little tube no more. I quit buying that stuff because that stuff is way too greasy. And if you read on the package, it will say what? Organ parts.
What?
I mean, I don't know where they come from. But before we start, do y'all notice anything different here? I mean, take a good look all the way. Pan the camera around, Shan. Let them look, see if they see anything different. Oh, you finally got it, did you? My good friend Chaz Mitchell at Chaz Custom Hats there. Oh my gosh, he has made me a good palm leaf hat. Look at that hat band. Folks, changing of the guard has come along. You know, I wore a felt hat most of my life, and then finally my daddy and them would tell me, you can put that felt up at the end of May and break out what? That straw hat and wear it till the 1st of September. There is a lot of difference from what country you're actually in. South Texas, they may wear that straw hat 10 months out of the year, and you get up north, some of them may not ever take a felt hat off, but down here it's always been about 1st of June to 1st of September, and they just cooler. They make a little more shade. That old felt can get a little hot this time of year when it's 110, but hey, thank you, Chaz. You are a great fella, you are, and a great hat maker. Pork chorizo. What really gives it that good, rich red color? Well, really that goes back to 3 of my favorite dried peppers. It does. The guajillo, yes, and look, he is so bright and red. I mean, look at that color. That is so good. My most favorite chili in the whole wide world, the ancho chili. I'd say this was probably my second love right here. It is the Hatch chili that has been dried. But a lot of times when you go to look for them, folks, in the sack in a grocery store, it'll just say dried New Mexico peppers. But first we got to rehydrate them peppers, we do. So got me a stock pot over there on the Hasty Bake, got about that much water in it. You're gonna have to take every one of them and pull the stems off of them. And you can use a pair of scissors, you can use a knife, you can use your finger if they're pliable enough. But I just like to split them up through there enough that we can get all these seeds to come out of there. The guajillo and the cascabel really to me are the secret to great enchilada sauce. They have so much flavor there. There's a little bit of a nutty flavor to them, just a little bit of hint of smoke. Now the ancho chili, when you smell them, smoke and chocolate, but there's also there a sweet taste to them. The flavor on a Hatch to me is really rich, robust flavor that comes, I think, really from the fertile ground that they're grown in. Well, stock pot is there. All of our chilies and 4 garlic cloves are fixing to get in here. I want them to get really boiled to where they're so tender that when you touch them, they nearly fall apart. Well, the chilies have got tender, they have. We got the blender hooked up over here to the electricity. Bring you some up, just sort of strain all that juice off of them as they fall off there. And folks, this is a tremendous amount of good, rich color and flavor right here. I like to put 1 heaping helping in there and then go ahead and put these bay leaves in there. So a lot of chorizo is really, really greasy when you go to cook with it. So I always try to look for me a pretty lean roll of breakfast sausage. And the one that I really like, I think just as much as any, is Potter's or Blue and Gold, which Blue and Gold is pretty seasonal, made in Oklahoma. But Jimmy Dean will work as well. Now to that, we're gonna go ahead and mix us up some whole oregano, because y'all have heard me say a whole bunch of times, this whole oregano has so much more flavor. Smoked paprika. Oh, what? We'll just give it a little more, what do you say? Some onion powder. And if you want to skip that onion powder step, just go ahead and get you a small white onion and just go ahead and half it, put it in there and let it boil, and you'll already have onion powder in there. I like chili seasoning, and then a good capful of apple cider vinegar, because we need a little bitter in there. And we're going to give it one more just because I like it. We'll get the lid on it, and if we can figure out how to turn it on, we'll go to town. Y'all ready? About a minute in, go ahead and take that lid off. Get you one of them spatulas. Rake all that stuff back down there to the bottom, because we need this stuff as about as smooth as it can get, sort of like butter. And it'd be a good time now since we're...
Sadie?
Did I see Sadie? Sadie, what have you been doing, girl? Did you go get a facial? Just on one side? Oh my gosh.
Look at your face.
Oh my gosh, Lou, you're nasty. So while we got it this time, we're going to go ahead and give it a little salt. But you always taste it about that second time that you push all that down to make sure it's like you want it. Go ahead and glove up. Oh my gosh. Perspiration makes getting them things hard to go on. I don't know if y'all can hear that song Garth Brooks is singing there in the distance, and the thunder rolls. It sure sounds good. 2 1-pound packages of Potter Packs of Flavor.
Any
breakfast sausage, but try to get the leanest you can find, because you know that store-bought chorizo a lot of times is so greasy.
Now, you're talking about a Mexican chorizo, right?
Yes, not Basque like is in your country. Let's see, can we get all this in there? Look at that. I mean, I want to show you the consistency of that stuff. I mean, liquid gold it is. And if you really want to make this spicy, use 1 chili de arbol, or just go ahead and blend you a jalapeno in there with it. It'll be all right. Now comes the time where you can do this like this and keep folding it in there. But folks, I have learned it is a whole lot quicker just to get your hands in it. But we want this to get mixed really well, so don't just like, well, I'm just going to just do this a minute and then I'm through. When you get it to that point, you can either leave it in this bowl right here, or you can get it in one of them gallon Ziploc bags and just zip it up, because we can't use this right now. I'm sorry, I really am. I know you're looking forward to it, but it's got to set at least 6 hours in the refrigerator. I prefer 12 or even 24. You know, that's a lot of chorizo, and you'd be wondering to yourself, what are all the uses for chorizo? Well, folks, I like it in eggs probably as good as anything in the morning. You know, you just fry that stuff up, and you sort of have to chop it along to get it just all well blended in there to good. But it goes well in breakfast burritos. But what am I going to put it in? I am going to make me a chorizo burger. Oh my gosh, folks, this thing is going to be the best burger I ever wrapped a lip around. Well, due to the magic of TV, and y'all ain't got to wait 6 hours, I done made a batch early so we wouldn't have to wait. Got it right there. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to make me a chorizo burger just out of that. Well, folks, if you did, you're going to have to mix a binding agent with it, probably like flour or cracker crumbs or something like that. Why would you want to do that when we could take us some 80/20 certified Angus beef and just go ahead and mix with it? Now, I like to do this 1/3 to 2/3. So we're going to put that in right there. Did y'all see that?
Oh my gosh, how nice.
This is a miracle. Thank you, Jesus. There is no wind blowing. I would say that's pretty close to 1.5 pounds of beef. We'll ball this up and see where we're at. I'd say we was pretty close to 1/3, 2/3, wouldn't y'all? I would. So just get that flattened out there the best you can. Go ahead and let's get this over. Get her flattened out there. There you go, chorizo burger. Bring on the hamburger bun. Got to have a big one, we do. But no, folks, we need to get this stuff to where it is incorporated really well throughout that ground beef. Everything is mixed up really good. We're going to have to form that patty and let it chill again. That way, everything will stay together on that grill. pinch you off a pretty good size. We're gonna make these pretty big, so I'm gonna go a little bigger than a baseball. Wouldn't you say, Shan? A little bigger than a baseball?
Sure. I mean, I didn't play baseball, so I don't know. So these are gonna make how many? 4, 5?
I'd say you're probably gonna get maybe 4 out of here this size. And you get them to the thickness you want them. Just go ahead, don't get them too thin because nobody likes one of them little thin burgers. When you're seasoning some ground or processed meat, you don't season it ahead of time. It'll dry it out. Season right before it goes on the grill. So I need to let these chill a good 30 minutes. Look out, Big. Well, while them is chilling, remember I told you we needed to stoke the fire because we done boiled up them chilies on there and we've lost a little heat we have while we was waiting. So, Fogo hardwood lump, we're gonna just dump it right on top of what we got down there. It'll catch. Ain't no fire on this end. Who knows what that's called? That guy over by the old smoker knew it. He raised his hand up first. Indirect heat, because we'll start them burgers back over here, finish them on the hot side. We added a little more mesquite to it, we did, while them was chilling to get us some smoke coming over here on this side. So just place them right here on the indirect end of that. Remember, all the fire is down here, this is down here. Now regular burgers, I'd probably just start over there on that side, but I like to give these a little more of a smoke bath. We're gonna go ahead and season them. Since we got mesquite in there and we're talking about chorizo, let's use some mesquite seasoning right here as well. So give them a little sprinkling. When we turn them over here in a minute, we'll sprinkle that other side. Let's get the lid shut on them. We're gonna let them sit down here and take a smoke bath for 10 minutes. Ain't that a pretty sight? You be wanting to buy it, don't you, Shan? I mean, it is good looking, it is. But we're gonna let them cool just a minute. Now remember, we had them on 10 minutes over here on the indirect side of the heat. Then we moved them back over there and put them over the direct fire. I lowered the fire down just a little, probably cooked to probably 8 to 10 minutes more total. Because I'd flip them, then I'd flip them again. And remember what I've told you, it don't hurt to flip that burger just as long as you ain't flipping it out there on the ground where the beagle can find it. Slide them back over to the indirect side, get you some pepper jack cheese and lay on there and just let them go to melting while you're toasting them buns there. Got that butter on them sesame seed buns. Then guess what? That fried egg. Put some butter in there, crack 2 of them cackleberries, and when you begin to see them, that white part of them begin to bubble up just a little, flip them rascals. Now, you can cook them any which way you want, over hard, over medium, over easy. It's all a good way, I promise. I'm gonna get this, and it's got this purple onion right over here. That might be the best burger I've ever eaten in my life. I'm telling you folks, it might be better than that Big Mac that's got over 7 million views. The flavor that chorizo brings back to that beef, and then when it takes that smoke bath, but that
When you did that test run with the chorizo burger, I mean, you hardly need anything else on it. It just gives it so much flavor.
I'm gonna go ahead and have one more bite, Shannon. Then we're gonna do the burger dance. Flip it, flip it, flip it some more. While I'm chewing that up, we had a lot of good help today. Went to showering just a little and thundered, and everybody wanted to come up under the barn. So I think,
Where you going?
dude, don't run off. it ain't burger meat, but we got a little toasted sesame seed bun for everybody. Cletus, you're gonna get a pretty big bite since you're a pretty big dog. Atta boy. Meiji, where you at? Y'all are our family, and that's the way we feel about you. So I just want you to reach out there to whoever's around you, because we're gonna have a group hug. I'm not gonna hug you individually today. Reach way around there and get ready, and just get ready. Not yet, no, because first of all, we gotta do the most important thing. We thank all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag flying back there. It is a great honor just to get to say that every week. It is, so we commend you, we do. Now go ahead, you're in the group formation. Everybody's arms real wide, give it a little smile. Here we go. Now, God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the Chorizo Burger Trail. Hey, you got a new haircut. I really like that haircut, I do. I didn't even know you'd got it cut till I get to paying a little more attention, but turn around there to one side. Oh my gosh, you'd be looking pretty sharp.
What'd you get into?